ladies and gentlemen. Oh man, terrible. Thought you knew this. Don't worry, I get it. If you did it, now you do. I had to prove it. Thanks for watching. What's everybody's favorite topic? Leave a comment in the chat. And please, stop it. If you hating, there's no debating. Promise, I'm going up like Hakeem. I can't wait to block you. Nah, dog, cause this a party. Get your popcorn ready. We about to get it started. I'm super grateful. Thank you all for being with me. How we looking? Am I good? Sitting pretty. I'm elated that y'all would take time to kick it with me. And I ain't famous, so I'm grateful for the subs you get then. Shout out to Shadow. I know my guy is always listening, and I appreciate the bits. Fire emoji. Pimpin'. Let's get it. I'ma give you what you came to see. Hit the follow button for me, and we can proceed. An OG, Child's High, class of 03. Shout out to everybody back home, and all of y'all that's in the stream. I appreciate you being here. Let's go. Let's get it. Wah, wah.
Look, Darlin. Johnny Ringo. The deadliest pistolier since Wild Bill, they say.
That's right. Bang. Not the best start we've ever had. I'm afraid it was kind of a... That's all right. This is why, we've said it before, we'll say it again. This is why we need a new computer. A new computer. Christmas is right around the corner. New computer. Everything is lagging. I mean, the buttons, the intro. Hopefully y'all are hearing me okay. If I can get a one time, I'd appreciate that. If you only had a new Apple MacBook, shout out to you. Bang. Well, we're gonna push through, because that's what we do. We persevere, we overcome. It's all gravy, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being back. It's been a week.
Thank you.
Chill. 5 weeks in a row, as a matter of fact. One time for us. We're on a winning streak. Damn, all these buttons. He's got all the money. Why would he buy it? I don't know about all that, Chooch. What the hell? He's got all the money. He's got all the money. I don't know. Damn. It pains me when things don't work flawlessly, as some of y'all can attest, right? I'm a perfectionist by nature. And so when it doesn't go well, it's like, damn. Why? I prepped, I tested the game. Here, we didn't get one of those. We're gonna give it to you. And this shit just, you know. See what I'm saying? Even right now. All right, I guess this is. Oh yeah. This is my sign. Gotta bite that bullet. Well, I'm looking forward to the new Apple MacBooks. I don't think they're out here yet, the brand new. And if I'm gonna make a purchase, I might as well wait for the new. Got the beanie on today. I updated the background for you one time for us. It's snowing. I asked Google what the temperature was before we started. She said it was 30 degrees. That's Fahrenheit for my non-Europeans. Feels like 19. Ouch. But the worst part isn't even the cold. It's the snow. Just plug into the Tesla. Fat Man, one time for you, baby. Welcome to the show. Bang bang. We got a lot of names in the chat today. Let me say thank you and give some acknowledgements. Hard to get it out. That's what she said. Shadow 1311, Chucha Barber, Carmen San Diego, and my guy Fat Man. All of y'all, appreciate you being here. And anyone else that might be lurking and haven't made their presence known. Appreciate you. It's not snowing in Tallahassee. You don't say, Ma. You don't say. Although it has snowed in Tallahassee. Here's a fun fact. On one of my first trips back from Norway, having visited one of the first few times that I visited, when I went back home, it snowed, which was super duper crazy. Now, certainly not the same as when it snows out here, but there were snowflakes. So that's pretty cool. All right, man, I'm so frustrated. I'm really trying to disguise it and swallow it down, but you have no idea It's like I spend so much time trying to make this thing flawless, and then it just don't work, and I'm like, I want to lift up the table and knock it on over. But that's cool. We're not gonna let it get us down. Shake that off. All right, here we are. Thank you again. So, 38 followers. Still, we're kind of stuck right there. But shout out to Russ one time. I don't know if you're around, Dad, but thank you for being our latest and greatest. I thought, man, I'm gonna put together a little follower appreciation soundbite. Maybe we'll get a couple of new names in there, but not yet. But that's okay. It'll happen for us, and when it does, it'll be grand. We do have something to celebrate, however, but before we do, let's talk about the background. One of the things that we're always trying to do, you tell them, Sheldon, what are we trying to do?
You just keep getting better and better.
That's right. And then I'll just play that because I like it. We're always trying to make minor improvements so that every time we do an episode, it's that, right? It's better and better and hopefully better. Sadly, today's start was real rocky, but I'm trying to let it go. I really am. I'm trying to let it go. Shout out to MidJourneyAI. So we've been using the hell out of AI lately. Shout out to Shadow 1311 one time for you. Bang. Someone said you sound like an owl. Whom? I don't know if that's what you were trying to do, man. But okay. Anyway, so MidJourney, yeah, we've been using it, and this is going to relate to one of our other segments here in just a minute or two. But if you're not using AI in your daily lives, I don't know what you're doing. I really don't, because it is dope, and hopefully we're going to put you on the game and tell you all about it. We ain't there yet, but I'm going to give it to you anyway, just because I really dig this new audio. So here you go. We're going to put you on the game. So hold that thought, because we're going to put you on the game. But until then, I hope that those of you, and this is a shameless plug, those of you that are rewatching the VODs on YouTube, I hope you dig the new thumbnails, and not only mine. Shout out to Shadow 1311, because his new thumbnails are sick. And so if you're not checking those out, you ought to. Shadow 1311, Twitch and YouTube. Trying to get your positive vibe check, mate. I appreciate that. Let me take a little sipski. We'll clear our minds. It's just a bummer, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, you think about this days in advance. You're like, okay, what are we going to talk about this week, and how can we make it a little better, and blah blah blah. And then you set it all up and you record, and oh, it looks flawless. Everything is as it should be. And then you hit stream, and the damn intro segue just don't work out. And you're like, nah, I can't even hit the rap because I can't hear the music. It's... I thought that, because normally watch this. When I load up the OBS, when I view each overlay, it usually takes, I don't know, half a minute to load the first time. But then when you go back, it loads pretty quickly. So I thought, cool, I'll run through them all, we'll get them all loaded up, then there'll be less lag and delay. But that didn't happen. So we all know what it is. I gotta get a new computer. So eventually we will. And then what will be cool, if I'm brave enough, we'll be able to make some music together. Perhaps. We're gonna try. We're gonna try. So we'll see. So yes, sadly, the follower goal hasn't changed this week. So if you're watching, please hit the follow if you haven't already. And the reason I'm asking, truth be told, is so that we can get to some cool new features. We're trying to get subscriptions. We're trying to get emojis in here. We're trying to get bits. So there's a lot of cool stuff that opens up once you reach, wait for it, Philly! These button delays. Wow. Bang. This is the worst it's been in a long time. I have half a mind to just shut this thing down and be like, all right, under construction. We all know what it is. Technology. Well, speaking of technology, I'm gonna put you on the game, but hold that thought. In a way, you're right, but I think the cold truth is just cold truth, pun intended. I'm running all of this on a laptop that's pretty dated, and it just doesn't have the power. Just can't do it, Captain. How many friends do I need to recruit? Well, you can do the math, Chooch. Come on, baby. I think it's just 12. Somebody quiz me on that. Watch this. Fun fact, Shadow1311 is pretty good at mathematics. We were having a conversation one day, and I didn't know he had this in him. Well, I don't know what we were talking about initially, but I said something, and it was like a math equation, and he responded really quick. Look at you, real quick. He was like, bro, that's simple math. You can't do math? And I was like, no. And then I challenged him, and I hit him with like 3 or 4 different, and they were relatively simple. Some were multiplication, some were addition, but he was so sharp when I was like, bro, you're a wizard, Harry. You're a wizard, and you've been holding back on me. But that's good. Listen, some of us are linguistic, some of us are other. I'm on this side. Now that you've built a keyboard, you can build a new computer. Hey, so we did that, although I had a lot of help, and shout out to my guy Rody Roll. I don't know, he'll never be here. I don't know why. He claims to be a streamer, but he's just teasing me. So we did that, thankfully. We put together a keyboard. Here's the short story. I wasn't gonna bring this up, but since you have fed me, you feed me. So here we are. I'm on TikTok, as I do, and I get served all kinds of videos, and one day it was just someone typing on a keyboard, and they were showing off their switches, I think. So switches are inside the keyboard. Anyway, it sounded amazing. Super creamy, super thocky. Pause, but that's what she said. That's what she said. It sounded amazing. And so I took the video to work because my guy, I know he has built a couple of keyboards himself. And so I was like, bro, do you think we could build one like this? And he was like, yeah, easy. And I was like, okay, cool. Now, I'm not gonna... I thought, here's the real truth. I thought, okay, $100, $200 at the most, right? And I'm not gonna tell you how much I spent on this board because I'm embarrassed by it. But the short of it is that I had no idea how much a custom keyboard costs. Because watch this, you gotta buy the frame, you gotta buy the components inside, you gotta buy the switches. If the switches sound a certain way, they probably cost a little more. And then we customized my board. It's money themed because I'm in sales, and so we call it the money desk. And shout out to Chucha because she knows what the money desk is. And so I got a money themed keyboard, and it sounds chef's kiss. I mean, it's dope. But it took us long enough. I mean, it took us about a month and a half to build that damn board. But I'm super grateful. Shout out to Rody Rowe and the whole team, everybody that contributed. I didn't know. I have a deeper appreciation, not only for what custom builds cost, but also what goes into them. So to answer your question, Fedme, absolutely not. I'm not that dude. And I'm not gonna build a PC. I'm gonna utilize probably the new Mac chip. And then I'll be using that for music and this, and there it is. Bang. So yeah, that's my keyboard story. I did post a picture on X. I want to say Twitter, so I'm just gonna do that. I posted a picture on Twitter, so if you want to see what that board looks like, it's on there. It was also on my IG story this week, so if you saw that, I know most of y'all are my family, so you probably saw it. Money, 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 the $1 million man. Bang. If you know the reference. Appreciate you, Shadow. My guy says it's lit. Chill. See if this works. So you see, the more I use the buttons and the features, it's like it catches up. It's like, oh, I know what I'm supposed to do with that. It's like an old sleepy person, and then they're slowly waking up. And when you rattle them, then they're like, okay, yeah, I can work a little faster for you. So hopefully when I start hitting these buttons, they're a little more timely. So yeah. Now, I'm going to put you on game. But before I do that, ladies and gentlemen, we've kind of got something to celebrate. Yeah. And shout out to the chat, because I know primarily it's y'all that are helping me with this. So thank you so very much. This is sincere.
Thank you. You're far too kind.
So what is it? Well, we debuted a record on this stream a couple of weeks ago. It's titled Snap Me When You Get Home. And last evening, or more accurately, late this morning, my time, we reached, wait for it, 1,000 plays. What? Chill. And again, these buttons suck. But no, how dope is that? And I'm so I'm immensely appreciative. It's a first for me.
Thank you,
So
thank
shout
you.
out. That's what
Far
she
too
said,
kind.
probably.
That's what she said.
But no, I'm really, really, really proud to have such an accomplishment and milestone. And for anybody that played it, anybody that's listening, I so very much appreciate
Thank
you.
you,
So thank you so
thank
much.
you. Far
So
too kind.
1,000 plays on the SoundCloud. And I know I promised y'all that I was going to release this to Spotify. That's coming. Pause. I'm actually waiting to hear back from the graphic artist who is assisting us with creating what I hope to be a visualizer. So when you see it on Spotify, maybe you see it with a cool visual image. See what happens when you make nice music? All right, Mom. So this is, and if Ant was here, he'd give his 2 cents too. So I think there's a few things working in my favor in this particular regard. So first of all, a lot of the music that R&B makes, and yeah, sometimes I think of myself in the third person because I can separate Ryan from R&B, the artist. And so it should go without saying that art is art, and art is subjective, and oftentimes, even though it may stem from real places and the like, more often than not, when you're rapping and you're trying to make words rhyme together, it's just that. It's just music. It's just, you know, it's just meant to be entertaining. And for me, and this is true, I just want to be respected. You know, I want somebody to hear one of my records and be like, "Oh, he's pretty good at that. That was great." I don't need it to be your favorite song, and I'm normally it doesn't get played more than once or twice. And so to reach 1,000 plays one more time is really, really cool. And I'm super appreciative. I'm grateful. I'm humbled. All of that. So yeah, this is I wouldn't say it's a sweet song, but it's less rappy and more like sing song, I guess. For those of you that haven't heard it, the concept is simple. Basically, R&B's talking to a young lady, and he's encouraging her to message him ultimately when she gets home. But he used the word snap just because it felt right when you were writing it. Again, in the old episode, I told you originally it was text me when you get home, or call me and then text me, and then it became snap just because it felt right. So, but yeah, the other thing, and I wanted to give credit to Ant on this. And I didn't do this because I'm encouraged to do it. Oftentimes, I don't think about what I'm going to do before we get started. Oh, and more lag. This is great. Oh, man. Still lagging. All right. Jeepers. Terrible. I'm gonna message y'all. Are we back? God, I hope so. I don't know. This is super whack. One more time, cause bum, bum, ba-dum. Wow. Okay, let me know if you can log back in. All right. Mom's hit me on the text. She says we're back. I probably lost the rest of you. So whack. I'm gonna wait till we get a little more action in the chat. All right, cool. Thank you so much. Jeez. Worst show ever. Damn, man. That's all right. This is great motivation for me because it just means that Ryan, it's time. You gotta do what you gotta do. So sorry, squad. I want to say it's not my fault, but this one's on me. I'm gonna take the heat. It's on me. You make it work, my man. Shit. All right. Well, listen, we're back, and I appreciate the support. And we're gonna pick it. Here's the real bummer. I think now when I download the video, it's not gonna be there. So, thank you so much. Here you go. Aw. There's a lot of love happening in the chat, and I'm gonna hand clap you for that. All right. Well, listen, we're back, and I appreciate the support. And we're gonna pick it. Here's the real bummer. I think now when I download the video, it's not gonna be there. So I thank you so much. Here you go. There's a lot of love happening in the chat, and I'm gonna hand clap you for that. I think what I should have done in hindsight, restart my whole computer and make it smooth. All right, so listen, we're going to speed through all. This is going to be a speed run because this is, okay? You ever seen the old Coke commercial? With the deep breaths, folks. Deep breaths. This is good, though. What this means is, well, it can't get any worse than that. You know what I mean? And the buttons, maybe it can, because the buttons don't work. It's fucking terrible. I swear, if you knew how I felt inside right now. All right, let's keep it moving. Where were we? 1,000 plays. That's right, 1,000 plays. And so look, the short of it is simply, I'm so very grateful for everybody that's playing this record. I appreciate you, for real, for real, for real. I'm glad you like it. It's a nicer song. Thank you, Mom. It's got a hook on it. Appreciate you, Aunt. And for anybody that likes it, thank you so much. And I know there's a couple of y'all that are really pushing this one, so thank you so much. And I promised it's gonna come to the Spotify very soon. Keep holding on. All right, there's that. Bang. These buttons are awesome. Yeah. About 8 seconds too late. Shadow, you got alert? Yeah, you do what you got to do, man. I know you're working, cuz. Thanks for being here, broski. Appreciate you. It's not the best episode we've ever had, so you're all right. You're off the hook, kid. All right, true to form, we got a new segment. You know what it's called. Put you on the game. All right, so we call it Put You on the Game because that's what I do. The game is anything. It's not video games. It's not board games. It's the game, right? It's whatever I think is cool. And true to form, what I do think is cool, Fedme, if you're still here, I know you dig this too. Boom, OpenAI. So for those that don't know, OpenAI is essentially the company that has brought the world ChatGPT. And so this, if you're unfamiliar, you're sleeping. I think most of us know what ChatGPT is, okay? If you haven't tried it out yourselves, if you haven't logged on, created an account, and explored the power of this thing, it's really, really impressive, okay? Think of it like, I hate to say this because I feel like I'm doing it a disservice, but it's like Google on steroids. And it feels like you're talking to someone, in this case, an AI or a robot. I call him Jarvis. So there you go. But there was an announcement made recently, and so check this out. OpenAI is now introducing custom GPTs. Don't worry, I'll feed you, baby birds. What is that? It's not the hand claps that you're about to hear, because those are super late. So sorry. Damn. All right. What are custom GPTs? Custom versions of ChatGPTs allowing users to tailor GPT for specific purposes. Now watch this, it gets cool. So you can create these custom GPTs or AI, if you want to think of it that way, and you can share them. Ultimately, you might even be able to sell these things. But for example, GPTs can help you, Mom, learn the rules to any board game. That's pretty cool. So imagine like having the Hoyle book, but for every game, and it's so specific. So it's like, oh, we play cribbage sometime. What's the run of 4 score as? You just ask it, and it'll tell you right away. So that's pretty cool. So the rules to any board game. It could offer cooking instructions and specific recipes. And again, these are just ideas. I know you do, Mom. Cheater. But for real, so Mom, watch this. You make, and there's a couple of others in the chat that make amazing things. Real talk. Let's imagine that you beat Bobby Flay. Come on, baby, we're gonna beat Bobby Flay with some ChatGPT. You can basically teach the AI a specific recipe and give it all the instructions, and then when someone else wants to make that thing, they're using your GPT, Chooch's recipe. It's just an idea. Here's another example, a laundry buddy, right? That if you ask it anything, it'll tell you how to get the stains out of what have you. We used to have a laundry buddy. Her name was Grandma, and Grandma knew all the tricks to get any stain out of any kind of garment and fabric. Shout out to her. So we could bring that back, Dorothy's laundry buddy or whatever. Anyway, the potential here I think is limitless. It's super cool. And here's the coolest part, right? Because I'm not a developer, even though we have a couple in the house. Boom, boom. No coding required to build these GPTs. Users can create GPTs for their personal, company, public use, late gunshot. Providing these GPTs is as easy as starting a conversation. You give it instructions, provide it knowledge, and select functionalities like web search, image creation, or even data analytics. The process is accessible through OpenAI. So if you want to check that out, again, it's just for fun. I know some of us are. And then eventually there'll be a GPT store where all of these GPTs will exist, kind of like a marketplace, and people will likely be able to buy them. And so as a creator of a GPT, like let's imagine, again, we have a specific skill set or interest, and we take the time to create a GPT, we can potentially earn residual revenue off of this market share. So anyway, that's cool. It's putting you on the game. The world is changing. So if you haven't explored AI for yourselves in some capacity, I think very soon you're going to be interacting with it in one way or another. Just like there were some late adopters with the internet, search engine. I don't think we're going to need that, right? But now, and this is just going to be the next evolution of all of that. And it's happening. It's happening right now. Related, in another episode, this was probably a couple months ago, I put you all on game. I told you about Stanford and I think Google and a team that had put together an AI game, right? And I think I've caught wind that game is evolving. And so from some of the, and I wanted to provide a video, but I couldn't I found it once late at night, and then I was like, oh, I'll find that again, and I couldn't. But the point is the game is changing, and I think it's fascinating and scary all at the same time, but it makes a lot of sense to me to become familiar, at least to some degree. So my job is to put you on game a little bit. ChatGPT, really cool. And now these hyper-focused, hyper-specialized GPTs. And Fedme, you are our resident AI expert. Hand clap to you, my guy. If you want to chime in, and if I've misspoke, or if there's anything you want to interject, throw in there, you're welcome to, man. This is very much an 8-lane highway. I wanted to say two-way street, but I encourage everybody to give it up in the chat. All right, so there was your put you on the game segment, and I gotta hit you with the music one more again because that's what I'm all about, baby. Let's get it. Wait for it, or not. Fuck me. There it is. Yeah. This show, I'm gonna rewatch this show. This is gonna be, you know what it is? It's like the coach, you know what I'm saying? You had a shitty game and the coach sits you down. He's like, Barbara, we're gonna look at this film together, okay? See what you did here? See how you messed up right there? Anyway, one of these days we're gonna have a better computer and these things are gonna be smoother than ever, baby, like butter. Fedme says, a game changer is those infinite NFTs. You know what, man? It's too soon, all right? It's too soon. No, look, you got me there. I still, I'm going to die on that sword. I still believe in that technology, right? Which is to say the blockchain and non-fungibility. But I'm not here to talk about that. Yes, it's more a game changer than NFTs. You got me there. Appreciate you, brah. She couldn't even remember the word. All right, listen. You know what? You make some bad bets and they don't pay off, It's all right. Don't judge me on my wins. I ask that you only judge me on my losses because I have so few, okay? Wolf of Wall Street on that ass. All right, Chucha Barber says, I'll try everything. You want to sell me on Bitcoin, Pixaroni? Yeah, that's right. Listen, I don't have ironically, I kind of do. But this isn't about that. I'm encouraging us all to explore these new technologies because I think they enhance our lives. All right. And don't you want to be up on the new, right? Don't you want to, when you're having coffee or cocktails with your friends and somebody brings, don't you want to be a little bit informed? That's all, right? And if you haven't, now watch this. I use ChatGPT in my daily life, and I've plugged it already. I use a generative graphic AI for this show and thumbnails and other things. And some of the things that I see in those Discords are incredible. I mean, the game has changed. I'm going to get off the horse. It's all good. Soapbox and all that. I appreciate you all indulging me. Again, my job is to make this show fun and to the best of my ability, teach y'all a little something. I ain't no scientist or nothing, you know what I mean? But we're here to talk about. What I think is cool. All right, moving on. Now, I promise you, I'm going to do something to make this next segment that much cooler. Here was my concept. If you come down from the frozen tundra, you can interact with real people. That's pretty good. I need to do that too. Come on now. I've got friends. A few of them are in the chat. But you're right. I know. I miss you too, Mom. I know that. I know. Here you are. Aww. Yep. I love you and I miss you. And I don't want to jinx it, but I think my passport might be ready for pickup. That's pretty good. So my passport expired, ladies and gentlemen. And again, sorry for the delay on these sounds. This is a rough episode. But on my last trip back home from the US, which I think was around January, is that right? Has it been that long? Anyway, it was earlier this year. I was flying home from California. And it had to be August because my passport expired in August around my birthday. And it was a little scary trying to get back because I showed the lady at the counter and she was like, this is expiring. And I was like, no, I've already made arrangements with the embassy. And she was like, I'm gonna have to talk to my manager about this. I was like, listen, I'm a resident. I got all the documents, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I talked my way into getting on the plane. But the moment I got back, my passport was literally expired. And so I figured it was gonna take some time to get it processed. And it has, but good news. I think we're back in the game. Bang. So yeah, hand clap to the embassy. Shout out to them. Here's a fun fact. Sorry, embassy. If you try to call them, you get a switchboard operator. So they answer, which I'm really appreciative of if you call during the right hours, but they can't offer much help at all, for real. And I was so upset. And the saddest part about it, they wouldn't even tell me anything. So the conversation, I called them twice and just to test to see if I just got a jerk the first time or if that's really how it was. So you call the embassy and it's like, hello, the embassy. And you tell them on the phone that you speak English, right? And you're like, I give them my best sales pitch and phone voice. Hi, I'm Ryan Barber. I'm calling in regards to a passport renewal. I recently blah, blah, blah. And they're like, I'm so sorry. I can't provide you with any information on that. And I'm like, that's okay. Is there someone that you can transfer me to? I'm sorry, we don't have those capabilities. You don't have the capabilities to transfer? Aren't you a switchboard operator? We are, sir, but we only handle emergencies. And I was like, okay, what constitutes an emergency? Life and death scenario. So let me get this straight. You only assist people via phone if there's a life and death scenario? And what kind of help are you? And the first time I challenged them, they hang up on me. I'm like, oh, great. I probably had that coming. But the second time, at least the guy was really friendly. And he was like, listen, I'm so sorry. He was like, this is not the first kind of conversation like this I've had. I have raised these points with my superiors. We're doing our best to try to improve things. I was like, listen, man, I recognize this isn't your fault. I was like, what am I to do? He was like, just keep emailing. Because my gripe was I had sent a couple of emails that had gone unanswered. King of the follow-ups, baby. Bang. And lo and behold, these conversations must be recorded because after that call, I got a response. And then after that, I thanked them for their timeliness and assistance. And then they confirmed, oh, everything's processed. Here's your confirmation. They wanted to get me off the line. So, hey, shout out one more time to the embassy. That was a story I wasn't expecting to tell, but it's a good one. So that's what happened. And the funniest part to me was the day after that I mailed my passport to the Oslo embassy, one of my colleagues tells me, they just opened up offices right next door. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah. I don't think it's an embassy, but it is like government relations, and I think they can probably facilitate such matters like passport renewal and other things. And I was like, you could have told me this a week ago, but they didn't know. It's not their fault. And I was prepared to march on over there and be like, hey, I need y'all to make a call. But I didn't have to do that. So thank you. Soon we'll have our renewed passport in hand. I hope they send me back my old joint because I got some really cool stamps in there now, marked up like Picasso. You know what I mean? So, bang, there's your short story long. What I was going to tell you was, for this next segment, which is one of my favorites, and I hope y'all dig it too, I wanted to create a soundbite, just like we do for Put You on the Game. And the concept was, so this is our, wait for it, movie review. Yeah, movie and TV review, as a matter of fact. My concept was there are so many production house intros, and I know you know what I mean by this. It's like, 20th Century Fox. Dun 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 dun. Right? You're with me? And then Universal has one. They all have one. Paramount's got one. I even considered the Marvel intro, Disney, and they're all dope, right? Let's respect that. Hand clap for sure. But it wasn't it. It was like, none of it felt right to me. So it was a cool idea. And Chooch Barber Productions, I don't know. I know we've got Cartoon Chooch with the horn, which I think is sick. But I don't know that we have like that, which is to say like a theme intro. And not all production houses do. I've seen a lot of cool ones that are just like, I forget what the name of it is, but there's one with like a coffee cup and a gunshot, and then, so there's no music. It's just that. But I know you know what I'm talking about, right? And so that's what I was gonna play for the segment introduction. Make the music, bro. Hey, great idea. Here's what we did. Thank you for the feedback. Now watch this. I'm gonna say it loud and proud so everybody hears it. I don't produce. I'm not a composer. So my skill set is not in music production, i.e. composing, making the beats, putting together scores for music. Okay, I don't do that. But I know a couple of people that do, and so I reached out to one of my homies here who actually, bang, he has done this for video games and other streamers and the like, and I wanted his style and vibe to kind of be reflected. So I reached out, we've had the conversation, and I think he and I are gonna work together to make it happen. So if you ever see this, broski, shout out to my guy. And I'm a little hesitant to say his name because I think his stage name is different than his real name, but I know you as Daniel, bro. So shout out to my guy Daniel, son. But I think Tudor or Tudor. And that's why I was hesitant because it's like letters. But anyway, we're gonna get confirmation on that. He's definitely gonna get credit in the descript. So shout out to you, my bro. So I'm excited for when that time comes, and hopefully you all dig it. And I won't say too much more because again, we're all about getting better and better and. God damn, Sheldon.
You just keep getting better and better.
So when the time comes, we'll be there, and then we'll all be better for it. All right, so all that being said, I don't have a sound clip for you to play the movie review, but your first movie. Everybody good? Here's your sound clip. Your first movie this week, ladies and gentlemen, is one I think you're gonna like, Mom. Because I know you don't love them all, but I think you'll dig this one. Dad, if you're around, I think you'll dig it. Anybody. A couple of y'all have already seen it. Here it is, without further ado, The Killer. Bang. Gunshot, get it? So, Mike Fassbender, who I very much admire and respect, he's not, no disrespect, he's not like a favorite of mine, but most of the projects that he's been in are great. And I think he carries a lot of that weight. So shout out to him. It's a Netflix joint. So if you haven't seen it, I think you can find it on Netflix. It's a movie, right? Rather than a series. And it's pretty good. I found it to be very entertaining. Now, let me manage your expectations just a little bit. It is a bit of a slow burn, okay? It takes a little time to get started. Now, I liked it, and I don't want to give too much away. That's not the objective of this show, right? We don't do spoilers and the like. I'm just here to tell you about something that I might have seen and whether I thought it was decent or not. And so here you go, take it or leave it. But it's pretty good. Now, it's not great, but it's pretty good enough to keep you entertained. And there's not so Dad's seen it. Respect, awesome. Shout out to Russ Barber. His name still appears at the top of the leaderboard. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate everybody's support. I love y'all, man.
Thank you.
So yeah, so good. I'm glad he liked it. And again, I think it's a cool joint. I'm trying to think if I can say anything without giving too much away. So he's a hitman. Let's say that. And it's a cool little story about a hitman. And something else, fun fact, shout out to the home team. There are scenes that take place in Florida. So that's cool, you know. So yeah, I'm glad Dad saw it. I was hopeful that he would at least see it after I recommended it, but to know that he's already watched it, and I'm not surprised. Sadly, there's not a lot of great programming out. There's a lot more available today, I think, than there's ever been, but the quality is not good. Now, also, there have been recent strikes and the like, and so I'm very optimistic about what the next so many months are going to hold for us in regards to Hollywood swinging. So I'm very excited. Now, I've seen a couple of trailers that I'm really excited about. I think Ryan Gosling and my girl Emily Blunt have a movie coming out that looks pretty good. I think there's a new Planet of the Apes coming out that looks pretty decent. So, and those are just two off the top of my head. So there you go. But The Killer, Mike Fassbender, pretty good. Check it out. And I'd be curious to know if you watch it and you come on back, let us know. Hit us in the chat. Let us know what you think. All right. Chill. Just because. All right. Now this next one, Mom, you're going to hate it. In fact, I don't even think I love it. I did like the first season, so I'll say that. And the reason I brought this, shout out to Carmen, one time for you. Glad you dug it also. Man, these buttons, I'm having a real hard time. It's all right. We're going to get a new computer, ladies and gentlemen. I promise. This next one. I don't often like animated shows and movies. I just don't. It doesn't do it for me mostly. And the reason why is because I fancy myself as an actor to a degree. You know, shameless plug, when I'm doing the voices, this is part of why I enjoy this so much. It's an excuse to work on my chops. But I just don't feel it often when I'm watching animation or, forgive me, cartoons or anime. Now, this particular show has some heavy hitters in it that do the voice acting, and I think they do a really, really good job of that. So that lends itself as to why I really like it, and shout out to those actors that are in it. But the real reason I like it is very similar to why I recommended, those of you that were here, last week's show, which was, class, Gen V, which is a subset of The Boys. This is very similar. It's got a similar vibe. Someone even told me they might even be in the same universe, which is crazy. But here it is. It's Invincible. Bang. Now, just like The Boys and just like Gen V, this is an Amazon Prime joint. So shout out to Prime. We're on Prime right now. I see you. But the reason I dig it is because it's super gory. Now, it's a cartoon, so you got to take it all, again, grain of salt. But it's fun in the sense that it's a superhero universe and concept, and the main character is the son of, again, a character that is modeled after, arguably, Superman, right? So consider Superman, and just like we talked about in The Boys, though a little different, this Superman is kind of I don't want to say it, he's kind of a bad guy, but less bad, more just like, imagine if you really were Superman. Would you have to be nice to everybody? No. You could rip their arms off and throw them into outer space. You know what I mean? Like, you just wouldn't have to be the nicest guy in the world, and you could still do good with your superpowers. That's kind of the character that, not the main character, mind you, his father is modeled after. So it's this dynamic between father and son, and the son gets his powers late in life. So for a long time, the father, who kept his identity kind of under wraps in front of his family even, thought, oh no, his son doesn't have powers. You know, his mom's a regular human, and so he just doesn't have powers. And then one day he gets them, and now the son, who is like an adolescent in late high school, he's dealing with these powers and coming into his own, and now the dad steps in and gets to raise his kid like he always wanted. But he's so hard-nosed, and then there are differences of values and opinions. And so the younger guy comes into his own as a superhero. And then there's this whole like government entity who like runs the world, and there's a team of superheroes, and he gets recruited. So it's very entertaining. I mean, you can tell I've seen it. The first season was the first, somehow, I don't remember how or why, but the first season sucked me in. Pause. That's what she said.
That's what she said.
But I was into the first season. The second season so far, I think I'm 2.5 episodes in. Not as good. I know. This takes people to a whole level. It does. It really does. And that's kind of it. You know what I mean? Because he's still dealing with all of the same stuff that a normal person would deal with, right? He's got a girlfriend, he's got high school, he's got friends, you know, he's not the coolest kid in the school, and then on top of all of that, he has these superpowers, and, you know, a young person doesn't know how to control them right away. Anyway, it's pretty cool. And again, they don't pull punches. It's very much based off of like a comic book. I don't think this one is a graphic novel, but I mean, his name is Invincible, and true to form, like he gets wrecked a lot. But what's cool is that he gets fucked up. I mean, the poor kid. I mean, he gets busted up. He's got black eyes. There's blood everywhere, and sometimes bad guys, you know, they get blown to shit. And so it's a cool series. Check it out. And again, it's in theme of like the boys in Gen V. So there you go. But it is animated. So if the cartoon thing ain't for you, I get it. I understand. But ladies and gentlemen, that is your movie show review. Chill. All right. Looking at my show notes to try to figure out where we're going to go with this. I think the next logical step is to take you right into The Witcher and do the reading this week, and then we call it a day. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so sorry. You know, it feels like this. Not so much, but even now, you know what I mean? Oh, I hate it. I'm debating, you know, do I publish this to YouTube? I mean, it's gonna be broken. I mean, the first one, we started this thing, there was a computer error, I had to restart. I'm so sad about what's happened. I put some time into making this thing fun for y'all, and I guess the next step for me is, Ryan, go ahead, make the investment. What you don't know is one of the reasons why I'm a little reserved about doing all of that is because it's going to require me to reinstall all of this, and not only this world, but also the music stuff. Now, again, it should help with that. At the very least, I should get access to a couple of plugins that I've had in my possession, but I haven't been able to use, and then the show goes on. But it's going to be an undertaking to set things up and start from scratch, and it's just like, oh god, I was trying to not avoid it, but I was hoping to delay that process. But it seems like now's the time. And the good news is, I know the moment that we get it all set up and working as expected, we're gonna be so much better for it. So, all right, I hear you, universe. This is the universe speaking. Get a new computer, bro. I hear you. All right. You know what time it is. That I promise I hit that button about 7 seconds early. We're gonna change things up, and we're gonna hit the sound that everybody loves oh so well. Before we do, and again, I'm at the mercy of the... I'm really hoping it works for me. Nope. Come on, there it is. All right. We raised the lights. If things work smoothly, as I hope they do when we get the new, that'll be so amazing. You're never gonna like this show. Don't do the reading or it becomes a permanent part of your library. At work, saving lives, but I'm still listening. All right, thank you both. No, I feel what you're saying. So I think, Mom, if I interpreted what you said, you're suggesting don't do the reading because you're not going to publish it, and then you'll have that missing chapter. You're right. So what that means is I'm going to publish this thing, okay? It's a testament. It's cool. Here's one. I know we're in the Witcher mode now, but I'm going to give you something fun. A couple of weeks ago, I went back and I looked at some of the first live streams that we did together. And sure enough, I was almost embarrassed by them. But not to the point that I wish I hadn't done them. To the point that I thought, oh, ours is so much better now. And I felt so great because of that. And so here's the truth. And this speaks to the whole 1,000 plays thing. For the longest time, I couldn't get out of my own way, which is to say, I think as artists, we all are a little self-conscious about our art and what we want to put out into the world, because we only ever want to be perceived as great we know we can be. Case in point, sometimes what's really cool is the journey, is being able to go back and see how far you've actually come. And the people that were with you at that time will have been on that journey with you. You'll always have the chance, in most cases, to garner new fans, viewership, listenership, and they'll only judge you off of when they know you or are introduced to you from then on. And so it is this cool ability for everyone to be able to go back and see, oh wow, look how, I mean, it was cool, but it's so much cooler now. If you don't have the perspective of where it was versus where it is, I think you're cheating yourself a little bit. So to have a bad episode, as brokenhearted as I am about it, only because, again, all intents and purposes, it should be good. I mean, we're here, we tested it, we've got it, we've done it before. I mean, we didn't have these problems last week, but it happens, and that's okay. So, long story long, sometimes the bad episodes end up being the good episodes in the end. So, nah, we're cool, but I appreciate that, and I'm glad you said that, because I'm had I done the reading and hated it that much, then I would have felt bad that chapter might have been missing in the library. So good on you for bringing that up. All right, but we're back. It's the Witcher world. Let's shake it off. Let's play this. Let's have a good time.
Toss a coin to your Witcher, O Valley of Plenty, O Valley of Plenty, oh.
All right, I know I've said this a couple of times already, but the truth is there are always a couple of moments within the show that are my personal favorite. This happens to be one of them. Ladies and gentlemen, your Witcher recap. That's right. Just trying to get the reverb off. All right. Sadly, even though I do love this, there isn't much to recap. In the last couple of chapters, even though they've been fun, we've been introduced to a couple of lively characters, and I hope you're forgiving as my voices are a bit spotty, yeah, but I'm working on it. And again, I don't premeditate these things. I don't read ahead. I don't try to figure out how characters should sound. So it's all very much impromptu, and I think that makes it a little bit extra, you know what I mean? And so I hope you like them. Interestingly, the dialogue for some of these newer characters is written non-traditionally, let's say. You know, they use words like, ye tay be a witcher, and it's like, you don't see those letters together quite often. Like, ye tay, Y-E-T-A-E, and so as you're reading it for the first time and you're trying to perform well, you think to yourself, oh shit, I don't know what even this means or how it should come out, but that's what she said. So anyway, I hope you're patient with me as it relates to these voices. So thanks. And I hope you like it. I do hope you like it. And when I've rewatched the VODs, and you know, happy to concede that I am probably my biggest fan. Although there's a couple of y'all that have been really pushing that music, and I appreciate that. So, again, your Witcher recap. Not much, sadly. I think we're in a new town or a village, and there are a couple of characters there. And previously, you'll recall, Dandelion, the bard, our favorite character maybe, comes to visit Geralt, and Geralt's kind of in a funk, and Dandelion tells him basically, hey man, let's get out of here, let's go find some work. You need work? And they have this back and forth about how the world has changed and monsters are really a thing of the past and people don't need witchers maybe anymore. And Dandelion suggests otherwise, and he convinces Geralt to go with him, I think to the south, but somewhere else, to the edge of the world perhaps. And so they go on an adventure to find new work, and that's where we are. We've gone to a village, and in the first I say village. They've gone to a town, let's say. And in the first town, they had dialogue with so many of the townspeople. And while they reported incidents and creatures and the like, it was all pretty much bullshit. And Geralt knew that. And so they left because the things that they were seeing, while legitimate, were just average things. I mean, it was just human error, not so much monsters and creatures and witcher work. So then we go to another village, or we meet somebody on the road, and he takes us there, and he's telling us that there are I think they're elves, perhaps, and probably some creatures. And in the last chapter, this is where we're going to leave you, they tell us about something in the field, if I recall. Now, they describe it, and I think the interpretation is that it's probably another scenario like the other town, whereas it's just a person, probably, and not that big of a deal. But nevertheless, Geralt's intrigued enough to check it out for himself. So that's where we left off. We've got the alderman of this new town or village, and his friend Netley, who's probably not the most educated person in the world, but he's cool, and I like doing his voices. And so that's it. So we're going to see what I don't know if it's a creature, whatever the apparition, I don't even think it's that. Whatever it is in the field or whatever's been causing trouble. All right. So for anybody that read last week with us or watched the VOD, I think that sums it up. If I missed anything, you can let me know. But that's it. Let's have a look ahead. I'll hit the button for you one more again. And then we'll see. The goal, remember, is to keep okay, perfect. It's a short little chapter. I think we're going to be able to do this, ladies and gentlemen. So one more time. Toss a coin for your witcher.
Toss a coin to your witcher, O Valley of Plenty, O Valley of Plenty, oh.
This is The Edge of the World, Chapter 3. I gotta position the book well so that I'm not bumping into the cables and microphone. All right, here we go. Chapter 3. One thing is certain, muttered the Witcher, sweeping his eyes over the tangled jungle of hemp spreading before them. This devil is not stupid. How did you deduce that? Dandelion was curious. From the fact that he's sitting in an impenetrable thicket? Any old hare has enough brains for that. It's a question of the special qualities of hemp. A field of this size emits a strong aura against magic. Most spells will be useless here. And there, look, do you see those poles? Those are hops. Their pollen has the same effect. It's not mere chance. The rascal senses the aura and knows he's safe here. Dandelion coughed and adjusted his breeches. I'm curious. He scratched his forehead beneath his hat. How are you going to go about it, Geralt? I've never seen you work. I take it you know a thing or two about catching devils? I'm trying to recall some ballads. There was one about a devil and a woman. Rude, but amusing. The woman, you see... Spare me, Dandelion. As you wish. I only wanted to be helpful, that's all. And you shouldn't scorn ancient songs. There's wisdom in them. Accumulated over generations. There's a ballad about a farmhand called Slow who... Stop wittering. We have to earn our board and lodging. What do you want to do? Rummage around a bit in the hemp. That's original, snorted the Trudabore. Though not too refined. And you? How would you go about it? Intelligently, Dandelion sniffed. Craftily. With a hounding, for example. I'd chase the devil out of the thicket, chase him on horseback in the open field, and I'd lasso him. What do you think of that? Interesting. Who knows? Maybe it could be done if you took part, because at least 2 of us are needed for an enterprise like that. But we're not going hunting just yet. I want to find out what this thing is, this devil. That's why I'm going to rummage about in the hemp. Hey! The bard had only just noticed. You haven't brought your sword! What for? I know some ballads about devils too. Neither the woman nor Slow the farmhand used a sword. Dandelion looked around. Do we have to squeeze through the very middle of this thicket? You don't have to. You can go back to the village and wait for me. Oh, no, protested the poet. And miss a chance like this? I want to see the devil too. See if he's as terrible as they claim. I was asking if we have to force our way through the hemp when there's a path. Quite right. Geralt shaded his eyes with his hand. There is a path. So let's use it. And what if it's the devil's path? All the better. We won't have to walk too far. Do you know, Geralt, blabbed the bard, following the Witcher along with a narrow, uneven path among the heb. I always thought the devil was just a metaphor, invented for cursing. Go to the devil! To devil with it! May the devil! Lowlanders say, the devils are bringing us guests, while dwarves have, do vel hole, when they get something wrong, and call poor-blooded livestock devilish. And in the old language, there's a saying, I developers, which means I know what it means. You're blabbling, Dandelion. Dandelion stopped talking, took off the hat decorated with a heron's feather, fanned himself with it, and wiped his sweaty brow. The humid, stifling heat intensified by the smell of grass and weeds in blossom. It dominated the thicket. The path curved a little, and just beyond the bend, ended in a small clearing which had been stamped into the weeds. Look, Dandelion. In the very center of the clearing lay a large, flat stone, and on it stood several clay bowls. An almost burnt-out tallow candle was set among the bowls. Geralt saw some grains of corn and broad beans among the unrecognizable pips, and seeds tucked into flakes of melted fat. As I suspected, they're bringing him offerings. That's just it, said the poet, indicating the candle. And they burn a tallow candle for the devil, but they're feeding him seeds? As if he were a finch. Plague, what bloody pigsty! Everything here is all sticky with honey and birch tar. What? The bard's next words were drowned by a large, sinister bleating. Something rustled and stamped in the hemp. Then, the strangest creature Geralt had ever seen emerged from the thicket. The creature was about half a rod tall, with bulging eyes and a goat's horn and beard. The mouth, a soft, busy slit, also brought a chewing goat to mind. Its nether regions were covered with long, thick, dark red hair, right down to the cleft hooves. The devil had a long tail, ending in a brush-like tassel, which wagged energetically. Ugh, ugh! Barked the monster, stamping its hooves. What do you want here? Leave! Leave or I'll ram you down! Ooh, ooh! Has anyone ever kicked your little ass, little goat? Dandelion couldn't stop himself. Ooh, ooh, bee! Bleated the goat horn in agreement, or denial, or simply bleating for the sake of it. Shut up, Dandelion. Oh, my bad. Shut up, Dandelion, growled the Witcher. Not a word. Bleep, bleep, bleep! The creature gurgled furiously, his lips parting wide to expose yellow, horse-like teeth. Ook, ook, blee, blee! Most certainly, nodded Dandelion. You can take the barrel organ and bell when you go home. Stop it! Damn you, hissed Geralt. Keep your stupid jokes to yourself. Jokes! Roared the goat horn loudly and leaped up. Jokes? New jokers have come, have they? They've brought iron balls, have they? I give you iron balls, you scoundrels, you ook, ook, ook. You want to joke, do you? Here are some jokes for you. Here are your balls. The creature sprang up and gave a sudden swipe with his hand. Dandelion howled and sat down hard on the path, clasping his forehead. The creature bleated and aimed again. Something whizzed past Geralt's ear. Here are your balls, bree! An iron ball, an inch in diameter, thwacked the Witcher in the shoulder, and the next hit Dandelion in the knee. The poet cursed and scrambled away. Geralt running after him, as balls whizzed above his head. Ook! Ook! Screamed the goat horn, leaping up and down. I'll give you balls, you shitty jokers! Another ball whizzed through the air. Dandelion cursed even more foully as he grabbed the back of his head. Geralt threw himself to one side, among the hemp, but didn't avoid the ball that hit him in the shoulder. The goat horn's aims were true, and he appeared to have endless supplies of balls. The Witcher, stumbling through the thicket, heard yet another triumphant bleat from the victorious goat horn, followed by the whistle of a flying ball, a curse and the patter of Dandelion's feet scurrying along the path. And then silence fell. Chill!
Come to your Witcher, O Valley of
Awesome.
Plenty, O Valley of Plenty.
Oh. All right. Let's change this lighting. Come on, Sally. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're still there. That was our reading for the day. The buttons, I mean, it's terrible. But that's all right. We still here. Bang. No! I think he's all right. I really do. One more time for Geralt and Dandelion. That was fun. So it sounds like there's a real devil out there in the hemp fields. Magic is afoot. And he's got an infinite supply of those steel bowls. I probably shit the bed on the goat horn voice. At first he was just making sounds, and I was like, oh, cool, there's no dialogue. It'll just be ook, ook, or whatever. But anyway, you try. But I do like Dandelion and Geralt. Dandy should not have made those jokes. I agree. Don't provoke the devil. Don't provoke the devil, baby. Well, I like it. I like that now there's something going on in the world, and we're gonna figure out. In the end, I bet it's gonna be just like one of those other creatures that we met before, where it's, he's misjudged. He's probably a person who was turned into a creature or something. And I'm never growing hemp. Kills the magic. I like that. I love that you're here, Mom. And I know we said it before, but I'll say it again because it's true. And I mean it from the bottom. I love you and I miss you. And I miss Dad too. Tell him I said so. That's right. And I'll be home soon. Maybe not as soon as we would love, but soon enough. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, we had an okay show. Wasn't great. So sorry for all the technical difficulties. I'll hit this for you. See? Even that's late. It's late. But I appreciate you hanging in there with me. We had some things to celebrate. 1,000 plays on Spotify one time. Bang, it's pretty cool. So for everybody that's playing that record, these are my records. And I'll get it to... Did I say Spotify? I meant SoundCloud. It's not on Spotify. Soon it will be. It's on SoundCloud. There's your plug. All right. That's it. I'm going to go to the gym at some point. Punish myself in the gym. We're going to get a new computer. I promise. We'll figure this thing out. Eventually, it'll be great. I hope you have a great day. Thank you. I love you back. Love you more. Love you the mostest.
Thank you. You're far too kind.
For anybody else that tuned in and stopped by, thank you so much. I wish you all a wonderful rest of your day, a great weekend, and a week ahead, because I probably won't see you until next Saturday. But you never know. I could show up. We could do a night ride. Maybe we ain't done one of those in a hot minute. But considering the way this one went, don't get your hopes up, all right? I appreciate you all so very, very much. That's it. Oh, the chat GPTs, man. Check those out. All right, bang. I'm telling you, it's cool. It's cool. It's going to be custom, anything you want to know. And there's going to be dozens of them. You'll just be able to talk to it. And that'll be really cool. Eventually, here's my theory. I think eventually it will talk back. And it'll be kind of like a Google Home, but better. No disrespect, Google, because they're always listening. And you'll just have the, maybe we'll even have like personal assistants, like in a physical sense. Like they won't be sentient maybe, but maybe like a robot in the home, and it'll be like, welcome home. And you'll be like, oh yeah, by the way, what were the rules to the cribbage game? And she'll tell you, or he'll tell you. All right, we'll see. It's a crazy time we live in it? Yeah. Check it out. OpenAI. The killer, Invincible. We did it. Ladies and gentlemen. Again, sorry for the tech diffs. But we out here. So I'm gone. As we do, Shadow, if you're still lurking, this is for you, kid.
This was a successful unveiling. Go back to work.
Go back to work. See y'all. Thanks.